Hey, Intuitive Soul Tribe. Mel, Intuitive Soul Coach here, excited to bring to you today's collective reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, collective. Wow, there's a lot of energy going on here. Some of you may have felt left out, abandoned, or rejected from a community, from family, from an organization, from a relationship. I feel like there's an unfinished lesson or there's unfinished symphony. We have both the Emperor and Empress energy showing up here with yin and yang. Yin and yang energy both coming out. This is action and receptivity. So I do feel for a lot of you, perhaps some of you felt rejected from a masculine, or perhaps you were rejecting your own masculine energy. Yeah, look at that never-ending story and unfinished symphony at the bottom of the deck. Whew, this could get intense, collective. So your first card out is orphaned. There is a situation that made you feel less than, or a situation that you felt like you were all alone. You were isolated, you were abandoned, rejected, or perhaps someone felt this way about you. Maybe this masculine felt like you abandoned them or rejected them. Some of you may have even gone through some sort of death or transformational period, okay, that really is opening you up to taking new action in your life. Let's clarify this energy, because I feel like there's phases, there's steps here, and this could be where you've already been, okay? I almost feel like we're doing a little bit of past, present, and future today. But let's take a look at the orphans. This reminds me of the hermit energy, potentially in reverse. Some of you may have hibernated. You may be a homebody. You may be someone who doesn't love to go out and socialize, or if you do, it really does exhaust you. Some of you could be only children, or you could be business owners of some sort, single parents even. We do have the Queen of Cups showing up. What I'm getting here is some of you, it's almost as if you've loved so hard and so much, but that love was denied or rejected, or perhaps you give out so much of yourself because you know what it feels like to not get that back in return, or something along those lines. When the Queen of Cups shows up, sometimes she can really take things very personally. She can get lost in her emotions sometimes. She's pregnant here, you can see, so there is an energy of new life showing up, coming out of a situation that may have been difficult or may have been challenging for you, collective. There's a new opportunity brewing, and it does require, action on your part. Even though you've been nurturing something, it requires the mother to take action each and every day to fuel this energy, to grow and to nurture, and ultimately to give life to. So I feel like you are on the precipice of some major shifts going on. I mean, this is also that divine feminine energy, which we see masculine and feminine showing up here. There's a lot of prosperity available in the waters, in the emotions. So that tells me there's an opportunity for you to take action towards more happiness, more love, and more abundance in your world. I'm also getting a message here about self-worth. Your self-worth isn't defined by what dad thinks of you, or the goals or physicalities that the physical achievements that you have, or by what a masculine energy thinks, or how much you've gotten done, or how much you do. Because remember, this is a go, 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 action, doing type of energy, but it's also masculine, the father, the male. So I feel like your self-worth also is being brought up here because you may not have felt good enough in some way, shape, or form. Some of you were adopted, okay? Some of you may have adopted your own children. You may be dealing with someone who feels orphaned, okay? Some of you left home early. I'm getting 16, 15, 16 for some of you, 17, okay? Or you lost a parent early on. You lost a child. I'm getting that as well. Okay, Spirit, what else do we have for this orphaned energy? What do we need to know for the collective? The moon. That fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. False evidence appearing real. Now we have double water, and the majority of July we're in Cancer season here. So when we have the moon showing up, this is about the shadows being exposed within you. So a lot of you are looking at some of these deep, enmeshed abandonment wounds or rejection wounds where you've even rejected parts of yourself. Whew, how deep is that, collective, right? We do. We abandon parts of ourselves at times. We tend to feel like our secrets are ours, that our shadows are worse than other people's shadows. And that's not the truth necessarily. It means that we all have shadows, but it requires us to shed light on them, bring them to light, and be brave and courageous enough to be willing to open our hearts, right? And that's why we have the Queen of Cups here, to open our hearts to discovering, our personal power, discovering our gifts, discovering love after loss and pain after gain, gain after pain. So I feel like you are opening up to new ways of seeing yourself. It's almost though you're seeing yourself for the very first time. And even though you may have gone through spiritual awakenings in the past, right? Because we go through many. We have many changes that alter our being. And I feel like you are waking up and you're seeing yourself for the first time as you truly are, collective. And when the moon shows up here, I feel like everything is coming up for you to really examine the root of the issue. What is really happening here? What are my fears? What are my limitations? What are the illusions? And I feel like you're getting clear on things that have eluded you, things that may have even held you back or kept you hidden from love or society or your career, your prosperity, your abundance. I feel like things are coming up, and it's to open you up to take action, right? To take action towards wrapping up these cycles. They could be generational for some of you as well, but let's look at the action piece of it. What does this action look like now that you know what is bubbling up? It's like you knowing yourself for the first time on such an intense, deep level that you know with everything in you. I'm getting high priestess vibes. Like this intuition is screaming, no more. I need to move in this direction. I want to build this business or go towards this relationship or end this situation that you're in that's difficult or challenging. I feel like some choices are being made here, and these choices that are being made are going to bring more stability and structure into your life. Yeah, more stability and structure because you feel more confident in your own skin. That's what it comes down to. Making a choice. Making a choice here instead of riding the fence. And some of you have been riding that fence for 30 years. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a long time to be riding a fence. For some of you, you played it safe. You played it safe. And, we do that. We do that out of fear. We do that out of illusion. We do that because that's all we know, right? And that there's no right or wrong path. It doesn't mean that because you stayed in a situation or you didn't expand upon something deep within you that you were wrong or you weren't where you were supposed to be. One thing so many people get caught up in is thinking that there is a specific path. There's not. Right? You're on the path that you are meant to be on. You have free will though. That's why the Two of Wands is here. You have free will. You can take the next path over. You can take the path less traveled. You can take the path that, has come prior, ancestral, right? I feel like you are meant to adapt here to some new circumstances, or you have adapted. That's what it is. It's like you've adapted to something that alienated you, something that eluded you, or it just felt very foreign. And it's like you weren't truly being honest with yourself, but you didn't know any better. And you're making a new choice now. The choice is to balance out some sort of karma, potentially. Bottom of the deck, we have justice. Libran energy here. So for some of you, this could have even been an ancestral karmic contract, okay, to heal. They say when you heal 7 generations prior, seven ahead of you. And I feel like when you heal, the world heals, of course, but there's something about massive shifts taking place, and it has to do with your tribe as well. You have the tribe showing up. You're also someone who inspires and helps other people in some way, shape, or form, collective, through your strengths, through sharing your struggles, because this is card 8, which is the strength card in tarot. This is about you being able to share your struggles and be vulnerable, tell your story, help others, whether it is sharing your story with one person that helps them, or it is sharing to a collective or a community of people, or global or internationally. Whatever it is for you, it doesn't make a difference. The numbers don't make a difference. The energy does. And I feel like you're making a new choice here to take action in a direction that allows you to feel part of something, allows you to be of service to humanity, or of service to your family, or to a community, or to a relationship. And that's what we're getting one step closer to here. And I feel like balance is restored in some way, shape, or form, because the justice is the all-knowing, all-seeing. Even if, you can see that she has a blindfold on, but she can still see. She has one eye peeping through that blindfold. Nothing can escape this justice, and even though we have our structures and our laws, some of them are great. We need them, right? In order to drive, we need stoplights to help the flow, to help bring stability, to help bring balance to the driving regulations. There's other structures and organizations that, could of course be upgraded, but that's for a different story, a different time. But I feel like this justice energy is also about the universal laws as well, not just the laws that we abide by here on earth. This is the law of attraction. This is the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. And we do see justice being restored here after maybe a time of feeling like a victim. Okay, this can be victim mentality. Why is this happening to me? When am I going to get, when's something good going to happen to me? I've been putting it out. I've been doing the work. I've been doing this, right? We can get stuck in that victim mentality. And I feel like you're learning some of these universal laws, and I feel like that's also helping you get unstuck. But what does this action look like once we make a conscious free will choice? Two of Wands, conscious free will, but also you're listening to your intuition. And what does that look like? For some of you, it could be going back to school. For some of you, it is taking a class, a course, a workshop. It could be mastering your craft, putting energy and effort into what you love, learning about something new, going back and learning how to do something in a new way. And that could be a relationship. Perhaps you've always done relationships a certain way, right? Maybe you've done it based on this orphaned energy. Maybe you haven't fully ever opened your heart, or maybe you have, but it got broke. So you haven't fully ever opened it up after the fact. And the relationships have been not 100% because of that. I feel like you're going back and you're taking a look at, again, whatever those fears and illusions and shadows that were cast due to some sort of condition that was brought upon the human experience that your soul chose to go through. Okay? Remember that. Your soul chose to go through certain contracts, certain struggles, right? But your soul also knows that you have free will. And sometimes we stay in things longer than necessary. I'll just say that. Sometimes it is longer than necessary, but in a way, in the grand scheme of things, it is necessary because it adds or enhances to our learning, our growth, our evolution. And so when you have the Eight of Pentacles, another 8 showing up here, this has to do with you putting in the work and really getting to that point where you're balancing the masculine and the feminine within you, because we're all masculine, we're all feminine. We've all been both, male and female in past lives, right? We all have the ability to lean on one or the other in this lifetime, in all our lifetimes. But I feel with this Eight of Pentacles, this is about you driving yourself to really excel in an area of your life. Okay. And it does show up as physical, but I was going to say here, I feel because we have the masculine, the action behind it, it actually starts from that soft feminine. It starts from within you. It starts with you having the self-confidence and knowing that you're not a victim, right? That you're not going to watch everybody else get, right, all the great things while you suffer. That's victim mentality, and that's also not how justice works. And I feel like you're taking action towards something that you truly want. It could be, again, anything here in the physical. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it's career. Maybe it's going back to school. It could be focusing on your health. The Eight of Pentacles is gaining knowledge. It is understanding, because when you know better, you do better, collective. And I feel like you have this resource, this education, this knowledge available to you. And some of you, a lot of you have already done this. You've already learned something you've needed to learn here. And now you get to turn it into that wisdom. A lot of you, this is happening the second half of your life. Some of you could be in your 30s and 40s. Of course, you could be 60s. Any age, of course. But I do feel like it's never too late. And Spirit is saying now's the time to put in the work towards something that has eluded you, or maybe you felt left out, or you didn't feel like you were good enough, or you didn't feel like you could ever have some sort of happiness. And I feel like it's right here. It's right here. And then we go into what I'm going to say is the present energy of the tribe. And we do have unfinished symphony. So for some of you, this does have to do with your spiritual gifts, offering them to others with maybe no expectations. There's something around expectations here. Expectations can really sabotage success, right? There's a difference between intentions and goals, but yet expectations. When we expect someone to act a certain way and they don't, we're disappointed. If we expect them to love us, but they don't, we're disappointed, right? If we expect that we're going to get paid this amount of money and we don't, we're disappointed. So I feel like there's this energy of the law of allowing, right? The law of allowing, the law of receptivity. I think these are real laws, universal laws. Look them up. The law of receptivity here. And that's why we have this yin energy. And you're wrapping up a few loose ends here, but I feel like you're really moving towards receiving thy bounty, receiving the abundance here. And it may have to do with help with the tribe. Spirit, what's the tribe all about here for the collective? Two of Swords. So we're getting another 2. We're getting a lot of choices here. We're getting a lot of polarity. That's yin yang, right? We're getting a lot of, partnerships showing up, or diversity, or reflective energies. You may be seeing in others what is within you. Okay. You may be seeing two sides of a situation here within you. I do feel, I'm hearing Gemini energy, but also Libra. So, I mean, we could have Libran. Some of you may be Libra. Some of you may have Gemini in your chart. You may want to look. We have the Two of Swords, which is air, and that's Gemini, Libra. But I feel like this is making logical choices, possibly moving forward, taking what you've learned, again, taking the knowledge, but you have the memories, you have the emotion and the intuition piece showing up as well. But I feel like the last piece of something here requires your mind, requires your logic, requires your intellect. Spirit, what choice is this all about? The star has to do with healing this. As above, so below. The star comes after the tower. This is Aries energy. It is about surprises. And well, okay, I said surprise, but it's actually about healing and hope. But there could be a surprise coming in. I'm getting surprise. There may be a surprise coming in for you that you don't quite expect, because I mean, that just almost slipped out. We have the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. This could be a big turning point. Some of you, it's a financial surprise that's going to help you recover, maybe financially. It could be, you know, a new offer. That could be the surprise. Like this is something beautiful because it's earned. You've deserved this, but you've also made a choice to receive. And sometimes we're not even aware that we've shut down our receptive receiver here. And you're allowing that to flow through. Look at on this star card. The stars are aligning to make magic happen. As above, so below. Right? And on the star, this is inspiration, Aquarian energy. And I think I said Aries earlier. I am getting Aries showing up, but this is Aquarius. And this is about positivity, peace, guidance, you know, not giving up on your dreams. Don't give up on hope. Don't give up. And some of you may have given up here in some way, shape, or form. And if that's your belief, because there's the Two of Swords, if you believe that something is not possible, then it's going to cause resistance towards what really wants to come. It's like knock, knock, knock on the door, right? And the UPS driver just wants to deliver your Amazon package, but you're like, nah, it's a telemarketer, or nah, it's a, you know, a Jehovah Witness or someone that maybe you don't want to answer the door to, right? And I feel like you keep rejecting it. You keep not answering because you have a belief that it's someone that it's not, but you forget that you just ordered, you know, a bunch of awesome Oracle and Tarot decks, and you have a big Amazon purchase coming in. Maybe you ordered it a long time ago and you forgot all about it. But the UPS driver requires your signature, right? It requires you to show up. And it could really be an unexpected surprise when you open that door, but you don't even want to look to see who's at the door because of this orphaned energy, because of some sort of maybe victim mentality, or it could even be because of a belief, or maybe you don't have enough information. You don't have enough information to see who is really at the front door. Maybe that front door is blocked. You're not able to see unless you look out the window, and then they could see you, and then you're trapped, right? Then you have to answer. But I feel like that's what's coming in here is you're making a decision, and I feel like that is to face some sort of fear. It's to finally open the door, and there could be an unexpected energy showing up for you when you do. Not to let that fear hold you back. And I feel like that's part of, you know, wrapping up this unfinished cycle where that doorbell's been ringing every day. Finally, you know, I feel like you're ready for this new beginning, because it's also card 1. It's card 10, which breaks down to a 1. Endings bringing in new beginnings. Because I feel like it's the last call. It's like the last day that the UPS driver is going to push your doorbell. Otherwise, it's just the note, and maybe you don't even use that door, so you never see that note. There's something here about the time is now to wrap it up, because you have this new beginning coming in for you. You got to use those tarot and oracle cards in the box. And maybe that's symbolic for your spiritual gifts, right? Maybe that has to do with you opening yourself up to the divine love and light within you. And maybe some of you felt very dark around this, or you may have even had an experience that you've gone through, collective, that you shut down your gifts in some way. I did that at a very young age. I went through, it was teenagehood, basically. I was always able, from as early as I could remember, was able to see things that scared me even. And I didn't want to see some of these certain things, and I would shut them down and say, oh my gosh, that's too scary, right? I don't want to see that. But I also seen very amazing, incredible, good things, light and dark, part of having some spiritual gifts. And then in teenage years, kind of shut it down because you want to be like everyone else. But what if I told you everyone else also has, gifts? Everyone else also has shadows. It's the ego that says, I'm the only one, right? I'm the only one that has, dark energies in my corner, shadows in my closet, or, this certain spiritual gift. We all do. It's just up to us how we embrace them, how we use them, and if we're going to open our eyes to them. All right, let's take a look at how to finish up this cycle. What does the collective need to do here, Spirit, to wrap up some sort of cycle? Yeah, put it to rest. Four of Swords. Four of Swords, stop going back on it, obsessing about it. Okay, lay it to rest. Know that you've hung up your hat. Your broomstick is setting over there in the corner. A new day will dawn. And I feel like this could also be taking a little bit of time for R&R, taking a little bit of you time here. It could even be a 2-week period between maybe an old job and a new job. Remember what I said about straddling that fence or that line? This could even be allowing yourself to come out of a Three of Swords moment, even if it means, it's been challenging. And I feel like this is past energy. You have had to take action towards your highest good here, but now you're finally able to let it to rest. What's coming up with this energy? The Lovers. Okay. So two things happening. Either some of you, there's been unfinished business between you and a lover and you're finally putting it to rest. Or for others of you, there's been a situation around your self-worth, your confidence, even the wounded ego, the wounded inner child that you're putting to rest so you can open up your heart to new love. Okay? And the Lovers, yes, is about love. It's around choices made from the heart. But I also feel because we have this Two of Swords, it's about being logical as well. It's about balancing the head and the heart. It's about reciprocity, but equal energies. And that's why we're seeing a lot of polarity here as well. So this is two energies becoming one. So there could be closure here. There could be, attracting in a very important partnership, one that is based on love. Love can show up in so many forms. It's not just romantic love. I mean, yes, lovers can mean that it's, on a romantic sense, soulmate, lover, but I feel like this can be a strong friendship. This can be sisters. This can be, anyone that you have a heart-to-heart connection with. Okay, you may have even laid someone to, I'm getting twins, okay? Twins, I mean, maybe it is twin flame, but someone could be a twin here, even a triplet. Yeah, wow, okay. Now let's take a look at your outcome energy of yin. And this is about receiving. This is about all that goodness. We've taken action here, I see in the past. We've taken action. Or if we haven't taken action with the unfinished symphony, we're going to go back and do something over again here. And it requires you to do something in a new way. Do something that takes the guesswork out of it. And what I mean by that is it cannot be done the same way you've always done it because you want different results this time around. And the only way to get different results is to do something differently. So that takes the guesswork out of it. If you've already done it this way, that's not the way to keep doing it. And I feel like your outcome with this divine feminine, this Empress energy, is about abundance. It's about, the fruits of your labor paying off. This is finally being able to give birth to what has been in there all along, right? She's been pregnant here. And some of you, you've been pregnant with this idea or with this dream or concept or goal for quite some time. Spirit, please clarify the yin energy for the collective. Oh my gosh, you guys, look at this. You have the sun. The sun will come out tomorrow, right? Everybody loves Annie. Okay, maybe not, but right behind it, it's almost like I accidentally just pulled the card with it. Did you guys see that? I went to go put the deck down and another card came with it. No accidents here. It's the Seven of Cups. So you have options. You have choices. Spirit wants you to know that those wishes that you've been daydreaming about or whatever it is that's been in your heart for quite some time, because sometimes we can get a little wishy-washy. We can stand behind the counter. Have you ever gone to a bookstore? I know I have. Just last week, I went to BAM, and I shouldn't never go there, because I get sidetracked by all of the spiritual goodies, and you just, I can sit on the floor for hours and hours looking at the books and looking at all the oracle decks and trying to narrow it down so you don't spend $500 in the store. And that's kind of what she's doing here. Is she's in this apothecary. She's in this bookstore or this beautiful place where there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of options, but the lady behind the counter is, somewhat patient at first. She's going to be patient as a new customer comes up, but you see that in this customer's mind, there's a lot of cups there. She has a lot of things to choose from, but eventually we have to pick, because what we don't see is there could be someone right behind her that's ready to check out. And I feel like you've had enough time, and now you've come to the place where, you're ready to check out. You've had that time to think about something for quite some time. Again, I kept getting 30 years. So, some of you, this could have been a long time dream, a lifelong dream of yours, a childhood dream. But the Seven of Cups is saying now's the time to open yourself up and to receive the bounty and the blessings and focus on, one of these cups, because it's going to bring you so much joy and so much love and abundance and sunshine and happiness. And I am getting here sunflowers. Sunflowers, they're in the background, of course, but someone could have a sunflower necklace. Someone could have a sign that says, "You are my sunshine." Someone could be visiting a greenery or greenhouse, maybe a farmer's market or someplace that has a lot of green or a lot of flowers. I'm also getting here, someone could be gifting you. I feel like there's gifts coming in. Someone could gift you a cup, a glass statue, or maybe this is a mug of some sort, something you drink out of, a goblet. Okay, this could also be a book. But I feel like there are blessings coming in, and you're finally receiving them after maybe hoping and wishing and waiting and taking action and doing all the things, right? Doing all the things that we do with that Eight of Pentacles, putting in the effort, putting in the work. And I feel like this has come to a point where you are shedding light as well. We have the moon, and they're highlighting, the polarities. Do you guys see the polarities? The dualities that are showing up in this reading? Yin, yang, empress, emperor, moon, sun. So it's as if you've seen this side. So for those of you, if you've been on this orphan side, if you've been on this moon side and you've been struggling, I feel like you're coming to this light. You're coming to some sort of truth within yourself. You're coming to some sort of, abundance, but it's all been a balance. It's all been, part of life's up and downs. We're not happy 100% of the time. Yes, we can choose to see the brighter side of life. We can choose optimism over pessimism, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to get hit from time to time with an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to heal. And I just feel like what you have here is an opportunity to embrace happiness without expectations, unencumbered by disappointments, or without feeling like it's going to get ripped from you. And maybe that was a feeling that you've struggled with in the past, is this must be too good to be true. Or I'm going to have that for a second, but it's going to get ripped out from underneath me. So I'm not even going to allow myself to receive a little taste of it. I'm just going to smell it, right? Think of a really great food, and, you know, there's a whole pie on the table, and the pie just came out of the oven. It smells so good, but there's also 8 other people at the table, and you're only going to get a little sliver, but really there's only 3 people at the table, but some sort of expectation says that there's only 8. You might not get a piece. Maybe you should just leave that piece for the people that really want it, or maybe no, eat your piece of the pie. Okay, eat your piece of the pie. Don't just smell it, because you know your mouth is watering and you really want a piece of that warm apple pie that's been baking all day. And especially if you're the one who baked it, right? Yeah, you want to share in your goodness, and you're going to be able to as well. But it's important for you to dish yourself a serving of the goodness. That's what I have for you, collective. Allow yourself to take a bite of the pie. I hope that resonates. If so, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you so very much for each and every one of you that support the channel. I wouldn't be here without you, and I am beyond grateful. Lots of love.